have a break advantage in the last break.
That's correct. Some people like that. It's very analogous to chasing in cricket. Some people like to chase targets no matter what. They like the ability to have that pressure of chasing.
And they also like to plan things out, right? Like it gives them an opportunity to plan their next move.
That's right.
And this was not a very successful break. Did not give a lot of opening to Aditya, but that applies to Ghufran as well. This is a very defensive break right now.
Yes, I would say there was a missed cue break, but Ghufran very delicately just opening up the two blacks on the north side of the board, making sure he's not creating any openings for Aditya, and he's going to have to create it for himself, and which he does beautifully. And now with that white, he has some options.
He's going to try and hit this white a little hard so that the striker travels on the other whites in the front.
Yes,
And
that's amazing display of some touch carom, as they call it.
that's right.
Making the striker do some extra work. And it's basic physics, right? The coin is 5 grams, the striker is 15 grams. You have the ability to make that heavier object move around a little bit.
That's right. And
It's going to do a glance on the red.
I think he's going to go for the straight shot. And he does do a slight glance.
Yeah, I would say more of a brush. Does he have that long white?
I think so.
It's the right coin to play. And he just has enough space to make some contact to the white. Wasn't an easy shot. I think the intent was to open up the white, and Ghufran, as you will see, is going to use the black cluster in the middle to shield the white behind. And the idea here is patience, right? Wait for some mistake. I wouldn't be surprised if he defends again.
Ghufran doesn't have a lot of options at this stage. He's going to try a balanced shot, hit it super soft and beautifully
Look
executed.
at that. That is delicately done.
It looks like he's just picking the coins and just placing it wherever he wants on the board right now.
That's right, Chandu. It's just now he decides to defend it. The idea here is really he's waiting for Aditya to make a mistake and get the so-called insurance that we have been talking about, right? It's a test of patience. Keep defending. Don't give your opponent any pocket coins, which they can skillfully use to create some advantageous positions, right?
And also given the score line, and that was
a beautiful
amazing.
double touch, right?
Again, these guys make it look so easy, so accurate. Just amazing.
And that's another beautiful double.
And it's going to try and cut, but doesn't look like he has a cover, even if he makes the queen right now.
Right. I think that would be...
So he's going to try and cut this white and open the queen for himself.
And then he's going to figure out how he can get the white to go. Might play just try a follow. And I think his only other confidence here is the two blacks.
I think he's going to try and cut return.
Just keeping it simple. I think there's a follow here. The idea here would be to just play it as though the black does not exist. And that's unfortunate that the black didn't make the way for white. And it's the shot is called follow. And what Aditya was really trying here was to
hit it with enough power, right?
Right.
To turn the black around, and then
the white goes behind it.
And again, as we said, this is a crucial board for Aditya, because the next break would be Ghufran's.
That's right.
And he needs to make sure he can rack as many points as he can. And this white right now doesn't have a lot of space to go anywhere.
That's right. And to Ghufran's advantage, he has a pocket black, which he's going to use, which he does. I think, and Ghufran really is trying to make sure he doesn't give up a big board. Getting the queen will help him with that cause. Has a nice little follow here. It's going to take that and bring the board down to a 3-point game.
That's right. I think right now he's going to try and probably knock these black off of this particular one. Oh, you know, I don't see any other shot, but again, these guys are so talented, you never know.
I think that's the option here, which he does beautifully and very skillfully.
And Aditya is going to try and hit this coin right here.
Use the support of the black.
He doesn't
Oh,
need
he
that.
doesn't even need that. That's beautifully done. Pretty much, I would say the game was online there with that shot,
Right.
because there was, if he had missed that, could have potentially been 4 points for Ghufran. Instead,
Aditya still
now
had a chance, right? Rahul, what do you think?
he definitely does. I think this is a very crucial board. He wants to make sure. He wants to make sure that he doesn't, first of all, lose this board,
Mm-hmm.
get this board by about 3-4 points, and then, like we said, the break to finish the 8th board. He might even fancy himself to make it, right? And the pressure might translate back to Ghufran, and Aditya might have the momentum on his side. And meanwhile, Ghufran would try to maximize this break. It's a great opportunity for him to close out here.
And then win the second Swiss League event at the world stage,
That's
back to
correct.
back.
That's correct. Ghufran is really has a way at the Swiss League, and this would be another amazing title for him. And that's pretty unfortunate. I think the break.
I think this is the first break in this game that he has missed.
That's right.
But again, Aditya looks like he has a couple of coins that he can pocket.
That's right. I think he's going to use the black.
He's gonna
That
glance
pocket.
off of that.
Yes.
Looks like he went for a cut return.
Yes. I think kind of, I would say, semi-successful, being able to pull the red back to his hand. Red is really crucial for Aditya here.
I think I don't like the white setting here for Ghufran. He can use this coin, and that's exactly what Aditya goes for. He's trying to remove that advantageous
And that's
coin.
beautifully done, right? And that's a perfect example of the defense there. And Ghufran
Thinking
thinking
about
about
the
doing
same.
the same thing. He'll probably get one white and then do that.
You know, because Aditya can move this white around with this black that Ghufran is now pocketing.
That's right, Chandu. There's a definite brush, as they would call it, that opens up the red for Aditya. There was a very crucial defense, I would say, for Ghufran to save the red.
I think he's gonna go for the cut right now.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Just
was a
wants to release the two blacks there and open the cluster a little bit.
Rahul, do you think Ghufran is gonna go for the queen right now? He has an axis.
Yes, I think it's definitely there for him. But looking at the sequence, probably not. He does have a follow on the side of the frame. So I think he'll try to reduce the points as much as possible and then go for it. And there he is. Crucial shot. And that's,
That was an unfortunate miss, and
I think that's
Aditya is definitely going for the queen.
nicely done. I think there was a slight hesitation from Ghufran, or so I felt, while he played the queen.
I think so.
There was a little bit of weight on his shot. He was a
And it's a-
little concerned about giving away the queen, which is kind of exactly what Aditya wanted. And now is really a, I think the pressure is slightly on Ghufran to now not lose the board, because Aditya has the queen,
Wow.
and that could cost him. There's one white and slightly more difficult white towards Aditya's base.
He's just gently trying to make all the coins easy, because right now this coin is blocking.
That's right. And I think he's going for a head cut, as they would call it. There is still a way for the black. I think there's just not enough.
I think he's gonna probably go for a double shot for this particular coin.
Seems like it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just delicately placed.
I think to my
Yes, sir.
point, it just looks like these guys just pick the coins and place it wherever they want on the board.
Yes. And that's a little tricky position there. think there's an option of going the side frame, and which he does.
He's doing that because he doesn't have access to the
And
coin, and that was some finish.
that is really done well. 5 white caramel on the board. This is going to be 8 points, I think, in Aditya's favor.
And looks like there's going to be a repeat of round 8. What do you think, Rahul?
Yeah, it was so hard to say, right? And you'd expect people to hold on to their breaks, but Ghufran, I think,
I think
had.
Ghufran had a lapse of concentration in this break. He had some really unfortunate misses.
Yes, I think there was a crucial shot where I think he gave away the
Queen.
advantage towards Aditya. The queen miss, and when the shot to release the whites didn't pan out the way he wanted, and that gave the necessary confidence and the advantage for Aditya, and he's gonna go for the kill. If he has the 2 whites on his base, that's good enough for him to
Two
go.
blacks, do you mean?
That's right. I'm sorry, 2 blacks.
And I think, the only difference between round 8 and this is that the last break in round 8 was Ghufran's, where Aditya scored 5 points, and here Aditya has the break advantage.
This is really nail biting here. I can sense the tension in the room here.
And look at this.
All the spectators around the board. And this game is also being screened in the big LED screen here at the India Community Center.
And that is quite a viewing experience, don't you think, Rahul?
Amazing. Yes, really amazing for me. There's a huge LCD screen here, and players gathered around the board. This is just carrom at its best, I would say.
Totally. And what do you think about the break, Rahul? I don't think this was a break that Aditya would have been expecting.
Yes, definitely. He's had better breaks, and he would have loved to have that one. He would love to take that back and do it again for sure. It was a good opportunity to take the advantage with a nice break, but I think didn't pan out the way he wanted. Still even Stevens. I think nobody has a major advantage.
And
Aditya does have a pocket white. Ghufran will at some point try to disrupt that. Nicely done. If you see, for the more keen observer there, pushing the white behind the black, then getting the rebound. Will look to play the cut.
This center cluster is the crucial one here, and I think nobody's going to try and open that first unless they have all their coins cleared.
That's right, Chandu, and the level at which these players play, I think the fundamental rule is do not go into the cluster until you can either finish the board
Or you have a lot of insurances.
or you have the insurance to play for, right? So I think playing that cut here, nicely done, making it look so easy. Gonna go for the rebound, use the black support. It's pretty unfortunate. Ghufran here is going to play the black at the other end. That did not pan out the way he would have wanted it.
And I think that has been the story for the last 2 breaks, looks like.
Yes, I think Ghufran is not being able to capitalize on certain strokes to turn the board in his advantage. And Aditya there giving him a chance with that rebound. Nicely releasing that black there.
I think after this particular coin, Ghufran will just try to pull the black cluster towards his side of the base.
I think when they pull, they look at what's the best option to pull, and that's the option I was looking at. The 2 blacks were stuck to each other, and there was an option to play the touch, rebound, and get the black to the pocket, which he does. Aditya is really going for it here. It's not an easy shot. Slope of the board and pace of the board comes into the play here.
Do you think Ghufran can finish this board right now?
He would fancy himself to finish. There's a press on the red.
Oh,
It's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate.
that would have given him a finish.
Anywhere else on the board would have given him the finish. It's very interesting here now.
And looks like the tide has turned a little bit now.
Yes, I would say now the advantage is in Ghufran's favor, and this shot is really crucial and
And
beautifully
look at
done.
that.
Circles the red back to his base and doubles the black.
And
This
that is
is,
some mastery.
yes, it is not at all easy to play with that speed and those angles. You need exact understanding of the striker deflection after the stroke, and first to see that pattern. There's multiple levels of mastery here, and I think Ghufran might. This is the test of nerves here. Do you go for it? Look at that
Look at
double off the base. We were just talking about the coins at the opposite end being difficult, but that didn't look like one.
And
And
will
here it
Ghufran,
is, the all important shot.
and Ghufran is back-to-back Swiss League winner.
This is a really amazing game by Ghufran. We were just talking about how he was losing his focus on the previous board, but then to hold his nerve,
This was a true nail biter, Rahul.
it indeed was. And as we expected, it would have been to be a close encounter, and we were not disappointed, I would say. And here goes the announcement.
And you can hear the claps for the second-time champion at the Swiss event at a world stage.
That's right.
Here at the 6th World Cup event.
That's right. Ghufran just is amazing in this Swiss format. To be able to do it back to back is no mean feat, and I think that's just an amazing achievement. And like I mentioned, 9 whole rounds played, starting from 9 a.m. in the morning, is not a mean task. And I think kudos to both the finalists. And it was a treat to watch for me.
Right, and don't go anywhere yet. You know, we have the doubles finals coming up right after this.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, subscribe to United States Carrom Association, and we'll see you again pretty soon in the next match. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.